Hey guys, I normally don't like filming on my computer, mainly because I just don't like the grainy look so much. It's not my favorite. But I'm lazy and I didn't charge any of my cameras. Why are you growling? He's like, I don't know. I just growl, Mom. It's just what I do. And it's true. It's what he does. You want to be in the video too? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, Goofy. Anyway, I just got done watching Nicole Greenleaf, a fellow YouTuber. I don't know if you guys know of her. She's really awesome. Like, she wears, like, lots of piercings, and she draws these really big, elaborate black eyebrows, and I think she's, like, a gothic queen. You know, that's how I feel when I look at her. Except, she has the most soft-spoken voice I've ever heard, and it's such a contrast to her, fierce appearance. Not that she's scary. I don't think she's scary. But, she's wearing all black and everything, and then she has such a cute little soft voice, and I love it. I think it's the most adorable thing I've ever heard or seen. And she just recently did a video about having confidence. That was creepy. And dealing with bullying and things like that. And I think it's really important I think every YouTuber should kind of talk about it from time to time. I mean, even if, like, your channel is all about making people laugh and all that stuff, which I myself like to do from time to time, I think it's important that we talk about it. Like, we have a few serious videos thrown in there because, people who idolize you, not that I think I'm idolized, but I think it's important to show that you're human and that, we're all kind of in the same boat together, So it's just, I think it's beneficial for everyone just to kind of share your experiences and say, like, hey, you're not alone. You're really not alone in this. And everyone, has confidence issues from time to time. Like, I hated myself in high school. I literally hated myself. And people probably think that's really weird because I had long blonde hair. I was pretty thin. I weighed like 130 pounds. I was always smiles and really cheerful. And, like, my goal in life was just to make everyone laugh at the lunch table. Like, I loved doing that because that was the only thing that ever made me happy. But I was so self-loathing, and I don't think anyone really knew that. And I had a lot of body confidence issues, and I felt really ugly all the time. And I think a lot of people just assume that if you look like a cheerleader or, even if you wear, like, goth clothing or something like that, they just assume that you must be confident because you have to be confident if you're going to be wearing that kind of shiz. And I'm like, that's not necessarily true. But, kudos to them for breaking out and actually doing something about it instead of just trying to be social norms. I tried so hard to look like everyone else, to look like the average person, because I thought maybe if I looked like a popular girl, maybe I would start to feel better about myself. And that was not the way of it at all. In fact, it wasn't until after I was a junior. Well, I was a sophomore when I got pregnant. It was like at the end of the year. I can't remember. Was I a junior? I think I was a junior when I got pregnant. And it was in October. And then I stopped going to my regular high school and went to, like, a special program for pregnant teens and, did all that. And then had my daughter. And then I tried going back to my regular high school my senior year, and it just was not working. I hated it. I hated being there. I felt really ugly. I mean, I had my post-baby weight, and I felt so uncomfortable around everyone because I didn't feel like a normal teenager anymore. I mean, I had a baby, for God's sakes. It's like, what do I do with myself now? And I tried really hard to fit in. I took a sewing class, which I really, really liked, and I tried going to, like, these sewing, like, after school thing, but I couldn't do it because I needed a ride and my mom had to work, and, you know, someone's got to stay home and watch my baby, so I wasn't able to do that, and it sucked because I had to miss out on things, but, you know, at the same time, I had a kid, I have to take responsibility for that, so then I started going to a vocational school. Basically, it was a special school just to earn your credits and get the F out. And honestly, I think that's probably the best thing I could have done, because I only went to school 3 hours a day. My husband, we were dating at the time. Yeah, we have a baby and we're dating. We have to figure out if you like each other after having a kid, because that makes sense. But he would, you know, Andrew would take me to school and back, and then I'd be with Nora all day, and it was a really weird and confusing time. Not to mention, I had literally lost my dad 3 months before my daughter was born, because he died in a motorcycle accident. And I know I don't really like talking about that very much, because it's been like years, but it still really bothers me. And so I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, so like I was trying to deal with losing my dad, having a baby, and living on my own with this guy who had, you know, helped me have this baby. And I'm like, do I even like him? You know, what's going on? We'd only been dating for like 6 months when I got pregnant. And I mean, I'd known him for a few years beforehand, because we actually went to high school. The day we met was my very first day of high school on our school bus. We lived in the same neighborhood, which probably didn't help the whole getting pregnant thing. You are crazy. You are crazy. But anyway, through all that, I had the lowest of the low self-esteem. And it wasn't until I don't know what it was. I just kind of woke up one day and was like, you know, I'm just going to start eating better and like working out and just, I don't know. I just kind of like, I just started doing more of what I want to do and less what I felt like I should do. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped trying to please everybody. It's the worst thing in the world to do to yourself, to try and please everyone. You're not going to please your mother-in-law. You're not going to please your own mother. You're not going to please your family. You're not going to please your friends. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. You can't please everyone. And that's the worst thing you can do to yourself, is to try. I think the best thing you can do is just to do what feels right for you. And then you'd be surprised. People tend to enjoy you better when you're yourself. I've actually gained so many more friends and so much more confidence in myself just being me and stop trying. You know, like, my mom was so sad when I cut off all my hair. But, you know, I was like, I don't feel like me with long hair. Like, I feel so much more confident with this short, you know, whatever this is. And I just recently shaved, and it's even weirder now. But you know what? I don't feel, this is the most confident I've ever been in my life. And, you know, I'm wearing crop tops now, which I never thought I'd ever wear, because even in high school when I was, you know, physically thin enough to where I probably could have worn crop tops but didn't feel confident enough to wear them. I'm like, 20, 30 pounds heavier now, and I'm all like, crop tops, bitches. So I think it doesn't even necessarily have to do with your weight, you know, or like your physical appearance. Confidence is just being who you are and just letting go of all the bullshit. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, high school is like a breeding ground for bullshit, and you feel like you have to appease. And it's just the worst thing in your life. And that's why everyone's like, high school's the worst. You know, it's either like the best of times or the worst of times. And it's so freaking true, because if you're like me and, you know, people thought I was pretty normal, but I was so, like, sad inside. It was just like, yeah, it's not fun. And I think a lot of people were in the same boat with me. You know, they just didn't really know what to do with themselves. So you just kind of float on by and just hope it's over soon. But one thing I don't really like to mention, but to kind of show you or to explain to you that just because I may have looked like a normal kid, not saying that, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, everyone, even, you know, the jock or the head cheerleader has issues with confidence. I was a cutter in high school. I used to take razors and knives and cut along my arm and my thighs, which is very unhealthy and unsanitary, and I could have so easily gotten a staph infection of some sorts, or a blood, whatever, you know. I could have actually killed myself on accident, and I wasn't actually trying to kill myself. It's the releasing of endorphins when you cut yourself, and I do not recommend that at all. I hid it from my family. I hid it from everyone. I think the only person that really knew were my closest friends, which is like 2, and my boyfriend, now my husband. He was the only person that really knew because he saw it. And it wasn't until I think my daughter was like 3 when I finally was able to like stop. And I haven't done it in a really long time. And I don't like talking about it because I don't want people to think like, well, she did it and she looks normal and she's fine now. Because it was a really, really hard and long process to stop. And it was somewhat of an addiction. And I don't want people to think that just because I went through it and survived that you should start. And that really, really worries me when I talk about it because I don't want people to start. I just don't do it. You have to try and find a healthier outlet, you know. I don't know what my healthier outlet was when I finally decided to stop. Actually, I don't even really think about it anymore. Like, now when I get angry, I just go outside and go for a walk or yell about it or complain about it. You know, sometimes just complaining helps, you know. Like, I complain to my husband all the time. Like, did you hear that crap that they did on blah, blah, blah? I was like, that shit was crazy and annoying and stupid, you know. But like, just talking about it really helps. And I think because I didn't used to talk about it, I used to just kind of like let it fester, and then I would take it out on myself. So don't do it, okay? It's not healthy, and it's really bad, and it doesn't help your self-esteem. And you have to try and hide it, and you just feel really guilty and ashamed all the time. So please don't do it. Anyway, I just think it's important to talk about body confidence and things like that. Well, I'm gonna get off here because this video is gonna be super long if I don't stop. But yeah, I just, you know, try and find a happy outlet. Quit trying to please everyone and just do your own thing. And please check out Nicole Greenleaf, her confidence and bullying video, because she pretty much says it all. And she's the sweetest person you'll ever meet.